Well, first, everybody needs to select their pre-generated characters.
I have done so.
Some of us
have
have
mine.
done so. Some of us probably haven't, or some of you, I suppose.
I'm an orc knob.
No, you're not. That's not one of the pre-gens. I may not have that page open, but I'm fairly 99% sure that Orc Nub is not one of them.
Okay. My venerable dreadnought.
Don't think that's one either.
Okay, let's go.
Roll to attack.
I shoot the darkness.
You shoot the darkness. Okay. What was Ein going for? What character is Ein? Just want to
I
make
have
sure.
no idea.
I'll
So,
pick
the
one.
Sister of Battle is at the Boulder Bridge.
Yes.
Who is what then?
She prefers Bolter Lady.
You can
Who
pick
is what?
whatever. Doesn't matter.
I am the Commissar. Where is the skills page?
Somebody else pick. I'm gonna look at this thing.
What's trash playing?
Idea. Doesn't matter. We're using that book that has the guy on front
Yes.
for the characters.
Yes.
It's barely a book. It's a few pages.
Okay, so in here we've got like Imperial Guardsmen and whatnot.
That is correct.
All right. What has everybody else chosen?
Doesn't matter. Just pick something. That could be
Battle,
Dominions.
Battle Sister Hannah Orton.
Go. What are you picking, Ein? Are you also picking a Bolter Bitch?
Oh no, let me look at this thing.
You can always have a Bolter Bitch as well. Nothing saying that you cannot.
And he can be Battle Sister Benna Horton.
Battle Sister Terrible Sacrifice.
Battle Sister Terrible Sacrifice.
Alright. Let's start with some of the background of the system that you're currently in. Now that you have your group of adepts of the Imperial Inquisition, as that is one of the only things that they haven't changed the name of yet. As far as I know. Fuck me. Did they change it? Is it still just the Inquisition?
Sure.
Alright. The Imperium conquered the Gilead system in the 31st millennium, blah blah blah. The system has 3 main worlds. Gilead itself, being the system's capital, is a densely populated hive. Avarsh is a small forge world located close to the sun, rich in valuable metals. Ostian is an agri-world capable of feeding the entire system. It has more than 3 planets. Netherius is a night world, which has sworn allegiance to the Imperium. What the hell's a night world?
Where Imperial
Never
Knights come
seen-
from.
Wait, what?
Where knights
Night
come
or
from.
night?
Not night, as in medieval night.
Yeah. Imperial Knights. Smaller Titans.
Oh, okay. Oh,
The
all right.
nightclub full of disco and
And
ecstasy.
Enoch is an Imperial Shrine world. And that's where we start. Okay, I'll start there. The journey to Enoch was mercifully uneventful. Now just you need to quickly find Adept Parker, so that your warband can return to full strength before assuming your current assignment, assisting a rogue trader. You were able to find your way from the assigned landing pad past the granaries of a massive distribution center to the sanitarium without complications. Medical facilities enormous, spanning multiple buildings, each containing several wings. The Ixter is a beautiful white marble with bright blue veins running through it, all engraved with imperial iconography with golden insignias. You take an obeisance. What the fuck is that word?
Obeisance?
Obeisance? I assume that's it. To the Aquila over the entrance before you cross in, obtaining directions from a friendly worker. Inside the grand doorway is an enormous room with arched Gothic ceiling. Light shines down from hundreds of candles, as well as colored sunlight streaming through the intensely detailed stained glass windows. A woman's scream shatters the peacefully haunting chimes of a liturgical hymn. You suddenly notice an unholy stench. A panicked man spins towards you, rushing from the door, fleeing from a group of shambling, rotting humanoid figures, clad in patient's gowns. And at this time, you notice 8 shambling, rotting humanoids who are basically just ravaging the people who are currently running and screaming. And I would like for everyone to...
Who picked the priest?
Not roll initiative?
No one has picked the priest
Not
yet.
roll initiative.
I am the
Beginning
priest.
with initiative, see page 11, which means, what again? Let me go fucking try and remember, because I already forgot, even though I checked it like 5 minutes ago. Which I assume doesn't mean anything.
Hmm.
Initiative. God fucking damn it, I just went past it.
Teddy's like, damn it.
This is what it's gonna be. Like, I have no idea what I'm currently doing. Probably everybody else here knows more than I do right now.
Doubt it. I doubt it.
Alright. Initiative. At the beginning of each combat round, the players choose which of their characters will act first. Once the character's actions are finished, the GM chooses one of their NPCs to act. So you guys get to choose who goes first.
Somebody
I'm gonna-
goes... Was that right?
I would be. I see people running. I see heresy. I pretty much have to kill everybody in front of me.
Wow, Del, you sound so familiar.
Yes. Well, it is heresy, and I do have a bolter.
The room itself is more than 100 meters deep with dozens of exits. People are streaming toward all of them, but there are still many patients, medic operators, and visitors in immediate danger of attack.
Ooh. We're killing some zombies.
Some zombie.
So how do we kill zombies, Liddy? What do we roll?
I assume, well, let's go back to the mob attack, because these are considered mob. And let me just scroll. Nope, that's the wrong way again. Fuck me. Where is it again?
Isn't it your attribute plus the stat or something?
Mob
Like ballistic
mobs?
skill?
It's probably.
It'd be
But mob
ballistic
has
skill
special
plus agility.
rules to it.
What it's added up.
A
Or the
mob
total
of
for
troops,
you.
enemies or individual weak, represents a horde of foes, often in close proximity in one another. When attacking a mob, a character does not need to risk a multi-attack to hit multiple enemies in the mobs. Whenever a character makes a successful attack roll against a mob, they hit another member of the mob for every 2 icons over the mob's defense. Now I need to figure out how do you actually just do an attack. And feel free to chime in if you actually know.
Isn't it like the attribute plus the ballistic skill, for example, if you want to shoot?
Yeah, if you're looking at the character sheet, you look at like ballistic skill, and we'll say 4,
Alright, you probably open
agility
up just a
4,
basic character sheet. That's
and the total
probably good.
will be 8. So you roll 8 d6s unless you wanted to aim, which you get another one or something like that. And I don't know what the to hit would like what the
How many actions do you get per turn?
target would be.
Common options.
Do you get like a move action or a bonus action, or
I think-
it'll work like that?
I think you get a move, an action,
Action combat.
and something else.
Gets
Something-
one move up to their
Pretty much like a-
speed, one action, and one action per turn, which can be taken in one move and one action. Right, so you
Okay.
can move or you can do something else.
So
There
is
are also
aiming
free
an
actions.
action?
All right.
Aiming
So
is a move action.
All right, so you could aim, and then shoot. And then aiming does what? Adds
Gives you
dice?
+1 dice. Yes.
All right. So, what is the difficulty of fighting at these guys, lady?
The difficulty, their toughness, or is
No.
it,
No, how hard is it to hit them? How many dice do we need to roll to hit?
Defense is 2. I think it's just your difficulty number is 2 to hit these guys.
okay. Does everybody have the rule summary PDF open?
I've got the
I have
blessing.
this little thing.
Because it seems like the flow of everything is determine the dice pool. Is, unless stated otherwise, a wrath die. Add bonus dice from items, talents, or other modifications. Determine the, I guess, difficulty number, DN, whatever that is. With the GM, include eventual penalties. Roll 4 to 5 an icon. 6 is an exalted icon. Do not forget the wrath die. Count your icons matching or above the, I guess, tie or above the DN is a success. So the difficulty ratings.
You roll against the enemy's defense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
how
yeah.
many defense they got?
They have 2.
Okay, so you need to roll more than 2 successes to be able to hit them, correct?
I believe so.
So
So all you do is improve the amount of successes you get with the dice. You don't actually improve the. You don't add to the numbers. It looks like.
Okay, so how many dice do you roll to attack? Agility plus ballistic skill.
I think the bolter bitch was like 10.
Let's see here. Also, I prefer Bolter Warrior. Thank you very much. Action point. Let's see the just looking at the weapon is like 1d10 plus 1 ED, but I haven't made it that far into knowing what that is.
So you'd get 10d6 including your wrath dice. And you could get an 11th if you wanted to aim. And you'd roll those.
What's the trade-off for aiming? Does that mean I
Don't
can't move?
You don't move, yeah.
Seems like something someone in the Grim Dark who's also a religious zealot would do. They ain't got time for the Emperor and to move at the same time. So I'm all for shooting motherfuckers.
Yeah, character who aims gets a 1d bonus to their range attack this turn, which means you just roll 1 extra d6.
Roll you some dice.
Okay. So that was, you said 11.
Yeah.
If you're aiming, yes.
So 10 blue and 1 pink.
So this is the 11.
What's our maximum dice pool?
I think there's a maximum bonus dice pool.
Ah.
I've got 6 successes.
Yeah, that
You have
In
more
fact,
sixes count double.
6, 7, 8.
Okay,
You got 8.
so-
oh yeah, they count as 2 icons. That's a lot. That was a lot of dice.
Jeez.
He's a bolter social justice warrior.
Actually, 9, because I have 1, 2.
6, 7. And you could roll one of those 6s to the glory pool if you wanted to. Or you could roll it to the damage pool. Which I don't know. That's as far as I know.
Nope.
Well, you can improve things, yeah.
I don't think I need to improve on this roll, yeah. These are just Zams. To shoot some Zams. Okay. So I have 9 total icons I generated on my attack roll. I guess I needed how do we needed
Two
2.
to hit.
So I have hit quite a lot.
Yes.
Or
You have
really
So you needed 2. You got 9. So you hit 4 additional dudes in the mob. Zombies.
okay.
How does damage work?
10 plus 1 ED.
So you roll 1 dice?
Well, let's roll damage for now, so we can figure out how it works, because these are technically mobs and only have 1 wound and go down in 1 hit.
I don't know that I roll die.
I think you roll 1 extra dice. So 10 plus
Oh,
and
okay.
a dice.
How many? Okay, so the defense for this mob was 2. How many for every 2 icons? How many icons over their defense did you go?
7.
7.
7. So in total, you kill.
Doesn't need to roll damage first?
No, because roll damage for now. But they're mobs, so according to this, they go down in 1 hit.
Yeah.
What's armor? Armor use for?
13 damage then.
For
No.
things that aren't a mob.
You need to roll 4 or higher to get 1 extra damage.
Oh, okay. Then
It's the same as rolling the dice for the icons.
No, well, that's fine. So you guys
So if it
succeed.
says like 2 extra dice, then you can roll 2 extra dice, and if you roll 4 or 5, then you get extra damage. Or if you roll 6, then it's more.
I rolled 3, so I did not do extra damage.
So it's 10 damage. So does that get spread, or is that 10 damage to 1 guy?
Let me read this again. Whenever a character makes a successful attack roll against a mob, which this is, they hit another member of the mob for every 2 icons over the mob's defense.
Okay.
So I hit
You
3
do not
more.
need to do damage because
So
they
you hit
have
4 of
1
them.
hit.
I hit 4 altogether.
Okay, and then how much like toughness or defense or soak or whatever wounds do they have?
They have 1.
Determining if a character
They
has
die
been wounded
of a hit.
for the total damage rating, including the bonus dice of the weapon being used to the target's character resilience. If the damage rating equals but does not exceed the target's resilience, the target suffers 1 to 3 shock. The damage rating exceeds the target's resilience. If the damage rating exceeds the target's resilience, the target suffers 1 wound for every damage rating point over the resilience. So he rolled what was it, like 7 damage?
It would have been 10. I didn't
10.
get the bonus tag.
So it'd be 10 damage minus their resilience.
Shock and mobs take damage differently. See shock and mobs on page 17. Oh, Jesus.
We'll get there. Everything's complicated when you start. If you're looking at the main book, the combat overview is like 204, 205.
What's the mob's resilience, Letty?
Resilience 5 for these ones.
So it'd be 10 minus 5, so the mob would take 5 wounds, I think.
So yeah, that kills it.
Were there, and so 5 minions or troops would die out of the mob.
Do they only have 1 wound?
I think all troops
Let
do.
me recheck. Wounds
Troops are like
3.
minions from 4E. Oh, I might be wrong.
Okay. I don't know. When I read mob somewhere, it said that they die of 1 hit, but I guess not.
So if they have 3 wounds, 1 would die and 1 would take 2 wounds.
They talk about mobs on page 208. Troops in a mob have only 1 wound each. The number, and this is for regular people. This isn't because there's different classes of enemies, but for regular as things, they have 1 wound each. The number of troops required to form a mob are up to the game master. The mob takes damage and loses troops. It remains a single mob until it is reduced to a single troop. At the game master's discretion, troops remaining from different mobs may mob up. Mobs take damage differently. See Shock and Mobs 226.
Oh, it's cumbersome to make an attack roll for every single troop within a mob. Instead, make a single attack roll for the mob, as if it were a single entity using the dice roll. The attack roll gains a bonus of +1 die for every troop assisting them up to half the size. Okay. What do you think, Ian?
Should I attack? I attack. I got 24 meters with my last pistol. How far am I away?
Nah, he's not. Yeah, it's no big deal. Damage.
Sorry.
During the brutal combat of the 41st millennium, suffering damage, receiving injuries. Okay. When determining if a character is wounded, compare the total damage value, including any bonus dice of the weapon being used and the target's relative resilience. So it comes down. So I had basically 4 successful hits, all doing 10 damage. So we would compare that 10 damage against the resilience of the troops. And if I do more than their resilience and they only have 1 wound, they're dead.
So pretty much four troops took 5 damage.
No, they all took 10.
Well, after you take their 5 resilience, they took.
Yes, you're exactly right. I did more damage than their. Yeah, I did more damage to them than their resilience. They took a wound. They only have 1 wound, so they're dead.
We won.
Depending on how many are in the mob.
There were 8, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that mows down like half of them.
And that's our collective turn, though, because choose the initiative is like you choose who goes,
Yes.
and then
the
they get
enemy
to
goes.
choose.
Well, that's your turn. Now,
That's their turn.
Then somebody besides you will go after them
Yes, yes.
for experts.
This is, I think this is pretty cool, actually. All right, so that's it.
Has
for
already
this
completely
system.
locked up, and I have not understood anything that has been said in the past 2 minutes.
Okay, so you had a mob of 8 people, right?
Yes.
8 zombies. They have a resilience of 5. I successfully hit 4 with 10 damage. So I had more damage to them than they can withstand. They all have 1 wound, so they can only take 1 successful hit before they die. And I did that.
Alright, okay. 4 of them are dead.
4 of them are
They're
zombie
dead.
paste.
4 of them are alright. Let me just go back to this page. Alright, so it's my turn now.
Yes. Remember, you can do all sorts of crap like interrupting and
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of crazy stuff.
Oh, and we all have 2 wrath. Start the session off with.
Yes, 2 wrath, 0 glory. Alright. You after Trash's character, whose name I completely forgot because they don't really have names at this moment. Trash basically just like immediately notices that fucking heresy, decides to just like basically just start fucking shooting at all of these obviously heretics.
Ultra Warrior.
Bolter Warrior decides to attack all of these heretics with swift vengeance. You notice, however, that the person next to you, like the guy who was running past you and screaming, collapses, and he just collapses to his knees and lets out a moan of like utter agony as you start noticing that he's just, like slowly starts pretty much like melting and rotting. as this ungodly smell just hits you. Any character who sees this happen must immediately make a fear test at difficulty number 3. So I want pretty much everybody.
Nope.
I assume everybody was.
Nope.
What do you mean no? What do you mean no? Are you
He's a
blind?
priest. I believe he has somewhat immunity to fear or some
Yep.
shit.
Well, yes. All right.
So no.
So no.
Well, what does the
I'm
what
not
does it,
everybody.
what does it say, Ein?
Yes.
Monk
for
shit.
everybody.
You
what
can't
does it
just say
Monk
monk shit this time. You cannot say you can't say priest shit. Read what it says. We're learning how the game works, Ein. Read it.
for the class.
Okay, I'll read it for you guys. Fearless, you automatically pass fear test and are immune to imitation interaction attacks.
All right.
Where's that under? Where is that under?
That'll be
Under
on
Intelligence.
Okay.
All right. So anybody who doesn't have automatically succeed at fear test, make a fear test.
that's against conviction?
See page 20.
Ooh.
Page 20.
So
I will
what's that
preach the
conviction?
word of the Emperor to your weaklings.
We'll find out. Let Liddy look it up.
Page 3. The category in charge something that causes fear. They must pass a resolve test in order to act normally during their turn. If the test is failed, the character suffers a difficulty number +1 penalty when attacking or interacting with the source of the fear. Okay. So, resolve test.
Resolve?
Yes. Or
So
resolve.
the number next to that, is that the number of dice you roll?
Ooh, that would be actually.
I
Mental
think
traits,
so.
trait resolve. Let us look it
Or
up.
is that the number you need to pass?
Let's see, attributes.
No, so the number
No,
to pass
because
was
it had
3.
a specific difficulty number to itself. Which
Okay,
was
what's the
3.
4
difficulty
dice, I
number?
got past 3.
Difficulty number was 3.
3.
Has somebody picked the commissar?
Yes.
Okay. Commissar has a special. One of their benefits is any allies within 15 meters and has line of sight add plus rank to resolve tests. So that's 1.
Yes. So everybody gets 1 extra dice because I'm gorgeous.
Okay, so
rank
is the
one.
number next to resolve, is that how many dice you roll?
Resolve is what? I just explain what resolve is, but then not tell how you use it.
Damn.
Why is this book so shit?
It's not the best
Does it
laid out
face-
book. I will give it that.
It's like it like you find the thing, and then it's like, okay, how do you use this? And then it's like, no, I'm gonna tell you. It's not even gonna give me the page number and tell you where you can figure it. It's like, why do I need to know what resolve indicating a card and determination instead of telling me how I use resolve?
Have you found it yet?
No.
Hold on, I'm downloading a copy of the book. Get it.
Boy.
I'm pretty sure that's the number of dice you roll.
Okay, determine dice pool. Determine the skill which should be used for the task. This will provide the basic number of dice used in the dice pool. So based on that description, I assume that yes, Griff, your initial reaction was correct, that your resolve number is the number of dice you use for it. Plus
Okay.
1 from
So
the
where?
commissar.
So what is that?
So we need
there's-
3 successes to withstand this.
Yes.
Is there a willpower skill?
Do we?
Uh,
there
it's
is, yeah. I think.
Okay.
Oh no, that's
Okay.
There's an
No, okay.
attribute called willpower, and also on your character sheet is the mental trait resolve.
So yeah, resolve
is
is
what you're
based
looking
on
for.
your willpower.
How?
So what character were you using again, Griff?
Hold up, fam.
Because my willpower is
Resolve?
4, so my resolve is 4. I believe that's how
My
it
willpower
works.
is 4. My resolve is
Weaklings.
3.
Oh, okay.
My willpower is 5. My resolve is 4.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how does it?
How do you calculate resolve?
Well, we
Yeah,
can
how do you
Or
know
which
what the
one?
resolve is?
Basically, yeah.
we can figure shit like that out when we actually make characters. But for now, I assume we should just focus on actually playing. Because there's already enough shit that's going to take us forever.
So I get +1 resolve because I'm a Space Marine.
Excellent.
I passed, but I rolled a was that a
Complication?
complication? Yes.
Alright.
Is it if you roll a 1?
Yeah.
Yes, or
your
run
special
one on
point
your
dice.
raft dice.
One on your
only
raft
two
dice.
complication.
I have
Jesus.
2 successes.
Whenever complication is rolled, act as a narrative prompt for the player and the GM to work together to add some unexpected drama to the scene.
That's
Ideally,
awesome.
it would be something that develops the character story in some way. If it's difficult to think of anything appropriate to add, the player may instead elect to give the DM a point of ruin.
So, because of the Commissar's thing, adding +1 rank to resolve tests, is that 1 dice?
What does it say?
Yes.
+1 or 1?
It just
one-
says, in line of sight, add +1 rank to resolve tests.
1 rank.
Add plus rank. In mine, it says add plus
Yeah.
rank.
Because I'm ranked.
Yes,
one,
so you're...
you add
yeah,
You get
one
one.
rating.
Yeah. So...
Your
rating
rating
is
is
the
the
number of
1
dice.
dice, basically.
Yeah? Okay, so I'm rolling 5 dice then.
Yes, because that's how I understood the... That's how I understood the skills and the attributes. That determines the base number of dice.
We got 3 complications.
I rolled a 1 as well.
Yeah, my raft dice is a 1.
but your
Raft dice.
your pink dice isn't. Oh wait, is that not you?
I have 2
No, that's
classes.
Ein.
I'm over here. How many do you need to pass this test?
3.
You needed 3
I
icons?
fail.
So I got 2?
2.
2
and
icons?
6 count as 2.
Yeah, so I got 2.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 6 and a 1, so I'm also feared. How now I have
yeah,
to try
you
and figure out how this affects me, or else Letty gets extra stuff to hurt us with.
Yeah. You guys have to figure out, because everybody who
Ground
rolled
note.
the complication...
As the body was melting, a pustule sac inside of it blew up and sprayed
boy.
bile on us.
Yeah,
You need a
my
4 or above, right?
Yep.
the
I
eyepiece
did not succeed.
the eyepieces of my helmet are now covered in gunk, and I can't see where I'm going, and it's somewhat alarming to me being blind.
Alright, so you're blinded.
Ooh.
Hippo is blinded.
The jelly guy. I like this one. The jelly guy is wailing and gets up and starts to try to hug me like the guy in RoboCop, the toxic
Ah,
guy
okay.
in RoboCop.
No, Trash,
So-
you didn't roll a 1 on your...
Yeah, Trash.
Oh.
You,
Which one is your raft dice?
that purple one, Trash. You always one of your dice always has to be that one.
Okay.
Always.
Sorry.
Because that's
Let's
how you
see.
know if it's a bad time.
Oh,
There you go. That's,
okay. Well,
that's-
then I'm not scared at all. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you people?
So you have
Okay.
rolled a 6 on that, which means it went really, really well.
So you gain a glory?
No.
Gets a wrath?
Oh no, yeah. Wait.
Oh,
No,
to the
when you
raft
roll-
page.
No, it is a glory. You gain glory when you roll a 6 on your raft dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the group starts with none.
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright, I'm
you
just
now
gonna.
have 1 glory.
There we go. The tracker's up here. I'll just write 1. That's our shared resource.
Yes. You have 1 glory. Alright, let me go back to finding fear again, so I can actually see what the effect is.
It's gonna be great.
I'm still confused
+1.
as to how resolve works, but you carry on with that so long.
What, how it's
yes, I'm
calculated?
also confused. See,
Yeah.
take
It's your
20.
willpower -1.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
Cool.
it's on page
Oh,
58.
people-
Page 58.
But because I'm a space marine, I
Yeah.
get +1 to my resolve, and my willpower is 4, so it would be 3, but it's 4 because I'm a space marine.
Fear.
Space Marine.
Oh, okay. Everybody who failed their fear test gets +1 difficulty number penalty
Yep, when
when
attacking.
attacking or interacting with the source of the fear. So you're all just like spooked as the sky.
Oh no, zombie.
Yeah, everybody who fails, you're just kind of like spooked, like ah. You saw all of a sudden turned, and you're just like, fuck, this is
You
just terror.
Fear not, I will tell you about the glory of the Emperor.
So you can use a
Get it
leadership
together.
test to
Yeah.
shake off fear.
Is that an action?
I don't know.
I think I can
think
use it
is.
as an action to on y'all. Like I'll use my leadership to clean y'all's sphere up.
I'm not sure this does this count as my turn?
No, I think that was your turn. So now it's our turn again.
Yeah, your
I
turn
was-
was your
Well,
guy melted.
if yeah, because it's a turn is one character or a mob. So that guy did his thing and exploded. So that's it.
Melted.
No, he collapsed in agony and transforms into a poxwalker.
Oh no.
So he basically saw somebody turn into a zombie and kind of explode at the same time. And he's like, ah!
Okay, so
Chaos.
does he get to do
okay,
anything
let's
else?
say that is his turn, but
Okay.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
He could be independent from the mob
He
too, right?
is, yeah.
Say
He is.
transforming was his
currently not part of the
action.
mob. The mob is elsewhere. That has
Be
now
gro-
been halved.
Be gross was his action.
Yeah,
This
it
is
doesn't
cool.
specifically say anything. Oh, okay. Encountering. Oh, that's their special ability. Okay, yeah. Now I figured it. It's their special thing, and it's not specifically that guy. It's actually all of them because their special ability is fear, but it's an ability. So does that count as their action?
Mm.
No. Okay, it specifies if it's an action. Okay, so they still get to attack,
Okay.
but only one of them.
I have found the requisite thing. So to get rid of the fear, you can use an action to then take a toughness or willpower test, depending on the combat effect, at difficulty number 3. You can do it to somebody else, also with a 3.
Alright, let me just quickly check how the mobs attack.
Oh, when I rolled earlier, right? I rolled 4 blue dice. Did I need to roll 3 dice and the pink one?
Yeah,
Yes.
this one.
So if
always roll it at.
Yeah, so if you have to roll 4 dice, it's 3, and that one it's always.
Okay, I misrolled that, but
That's
we'll just
that's fine. We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Mobs are counts as like an entire group, so they act as one.
So all of them go, yeah. It's
Oh,
basically
shit.
one creature with multiple bodies.
Yeah, you think
Yeah,
of
it's
its bodies as hit points.
And when it
Yeah.
attacks,
Mob combined attacks. It's composed of an attack roll. Okay, yeah. Since based on that, I assume that just means it's a single entity.
Yeah.
and
So they're all go-
for the attack. Your attack is your ballistic skill or whatever, plus 1 dice for every creature in the mob, I believe. So it would have been
attack
plus
roll of mob
8
is for a single
dice.
entity using the correct dice pool, weapon skill, ballistic skill, or other ability of a single troop within the mob. The attack roll gains a bonus of 1d for every troop assisting them, up to they half the size of the mob.
Okay, so if there
Oh.
are 5 left, then do you round up or down? For that?
4. There's 4 left.
4 left, so 2
Well-
bonus dice.
5, but there's a new one.
Oh, I was assuming he was outside the mob. You have a mob of 4 and this other guy.
Oh
we're
yeah,
about
yeah,
to
you're
we're about to
right,
be
but-
surrounded by a mob.
No, we're in a corridor.
Yeah, you basically it's a large room. It's 100 meters, and these guys are halfway, and you guys are at the entrance. So yeah. There's a mob, and there's this guy. So this guy just did something, and he probably acts as himself because there's basically the thing that's telling you what to do. Fear test. Each unengaged proxy kills. All right, they're just gonna.
There's
Okay,
a
yeah,
there's an example on mob attacks on page 209.
yeah. I've been trying to understand it, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right. There's this guy, and then there's the mob. Which is fine. So this guy just basically turned.
That guy, they all
Yeah,
attack
he's
as one,
just-
so he gets 3 die bonus because he's got 3 other people helping him.
No, because it's only up to half the amount of people in a mob.
Okay. Well, what I'm reading, and the reason I said that, what I'm reading, the attack roll gains a bonus for
Oh, there's
plus
what it
1d
says
for
that.
every
Okay.
troop
I finally
assaulting
found-
them.
I finally found
Assisting
the
them.
note,
Yeah.
which I was referencing earlier. Note: in this battle, the poxwalkers are considered to be troops in a mob, meaning they each have only one group. So that's where I got that rule. Very confusingly hidden.
Oh, up to half the size of the mob. That's right. So he gets +2, not +4.
But yeah, the mob is still some away from you guys, but then there's this one specifically next to you. So how do attacks work again? Wait, how
Are
do
you shooting at
attacks
us, or are
work
you
for-
hitting us with your fistuses?
well, he doesn't he doesn't have any weapons. He's just a zombie. So he's okay. Skills, weapon skill 5. All right.
So it's weapon skill plus initiative, or what?
Yes, that would be the amount of dice he would use.
So he's
he-
using weapon skill, which is
I don't have a wrath dice as a DM, do I?
No. You have a
Okay.
pool of them that you make, and you can choose to use them.
But I don't start with any ruin though.
Don't think so.
If
Alright,
you're doing
I'm just trying to figure out how to attack because for some reason I have no idea how attacking works.
Okay.
page 230.
So
I'm
you-
using the basic
So on
rule book.
the
not
character
the-
sheet, you should see like a weapon, or a just sheet for the Poxwalker, I guess. You should see like weapon
Yeah,
skill.
yeah. Yes, I have
Um,
weapon skill.
And
And that just determines how many dice I roll.
yeah, so
Base.
it's that plus initiative. So
What's initiative?
at least for players it is.
Characters, yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
assuming it
so
would also
you-
be the same for you.
Every person has like a skill and a linked
Well,
attribute to go with it.
You have your under weapon skill. It says rating 4 plus link attribute for me is 4, and it says total.
Yeah, so you roll the total.
would be 8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It says that on the right there, right?
Yeah.
Your total is probably 5 for Poxwalker.
Plus, you get 2 for being assisted by 3 other people.
No, that's a different mob.
Oh, we were talking about
Yeah,
this
this
one
is a
guy.
single guy.
This
and
is
then
an
there's a
independent.
mob.
This is an independent. This is Bob
My bad,
Bob the
yeah.
Poxwalker.
This is
Bob
Bob who
Pox.
just turned in front of you, making you guys like, oh.
Strong independent Poxwalker don't need no mob.
Okay, so
Alright.
weapon skill 5. Alright, so
Who's he attacking?
he's gonna attack the person closest to him, who was Tress's character.
Sure.
Sure.
Come
Uh,
at me, bro.
So
come at me, bro. I will shoot you for honor.
okay.
The warriors.
So
Ooh.
4 and 5 were an icon, so I got 2 icons. I don't know.
Which would be against his defense.
So you
Yeah.
roll 2 basically.
Yeah, okay, I
So
rolled
Trash,
2.
on your character sheet, what is your defense number?
3.
So that's a miss.
Defense.
All right.
Yeah,
so
no
he
successful.
attempt to after like turning, he's like rawr, attacking the closest person to them, but just like kind of plumps on top of or well on your feet or somewhere. Fails to do anything. Okay, next person.
Get off me, you gross pile of goo.
May I go?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
As a narrative action, then I wipe off the smudge from my eyes. I'm still feared though. And then,
Smudge.
so I'm gonna have +1 penalty to hitting him. So I'm just gonna run next to the bitch and stab at him with my Astartes combat knife.
Oh, alrighty.
So I roll
More of a sword than a knife.
9 for that.
9 dice. Jeeps.
Yeah, bear in mind
You-
we're playing tier 3 characters, so
Yeah, I know.
He's a fucking space marine.
It's
So what is the difficulty number? Adding the +1 because
difficulty
I'm
number-
feared.
The difficulty number is base 2 plus 1, so 3.
system seems really easy.
Yeah. That's a lot of success.
Fucking stab his eyeballs out.
Okay, so that's
6.
6 altogether, and I'll move a. I'll
Seven,
use my.
because
I'll
this-
move my exalted over to the glory pool. So I've rolled a 4. So that's a hit, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and the damage.
you-
Can I?
sorry, I was wondering, so you can take any 6 and move it to the glory pool. I thought it's only the
Yes.
wrath dice.
No, the wrath dice just
That's-
means like crit or fail, basically.
Ah, okay. I hear you.
Unless it rolls a 1 or a 6, it's just a normal dice.
It's just the dice. Okay.
So yeah, I move that 6 over to the glory pool, and then I do. Okay, so I do 12 plus 1 extra dice. So let's roll that dice. So that's 13.
13 damage.
Is that right? If I rolled a 5 on my extra dice, that adds the plus 1 to the damage.
Yes, that's right. If it depends on your weapon. So if you had one extra die, roll a 4 and above,
That
you
would
have
be
an extra
easy.
damage.
Does your weapon have brutal?
No, it has steadfast, which I was just about to look up.
Mine has brutal. And rapid fire.
Steadfast. Based on tested time, blah blah blah. They're reliable, easy to maintain. Once per
Okay.
combat, ignore the first complication caused by an attack made with steadfast weapon.
Okay, so that doesn't add anything then. So I do 13 points of damage in a stabbing attack, also eliminating the
Okay.
cause of my fear, which I guess should make me not scared?
Yes. Alright, so how do I resolve damage?
So you take his resilience,
Okay.
and then
resilience.
any damage over that
Comparing damage.
is actual damage.
Alright, so how much damage do you do
13.
again? 12? 13.
Is that 1 wound if you exceed it, or is it the amount of damage you exceeded by as the number of wounds you deal?
Ooh. Right, because these have a resilience of 5, right?
Yes.
So if he did 13 damage, and let's say it's got 5 wounds, just random. If he did 10, would that have been enough to do 2 wounds? That's a good question.
I'm just
Uh,
asking because if we get hit, for example, and it works like that, that means we're playing a rocket tag.
Yeah.
Well,
We're first level D&D characters. What you laughing at?
They're all gonna die.
Choo choo.
Okay,
Well,
let's
we have-
go. I wish it was simpler, like word stuff would be like, "Hey, this is how I attack. Here's how you determine damage."
Yeah.
You mean you don't
but-
have 3
but-
monitors for 3 separate sections? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have many pages. I'm just having difficulty even finding this shit.
The way I
Yeah.
read it, for every success over their resilience
Okay,
is a wound.
Damage. When determining if a character has been wounded, compared to total damage rating, including any bonus dice of the weapon of being used, targets character's resilience. For melee weapons, unless otherwise stated, the wielder strength attribute is added to weapons' damage rating.
Oh,
Damage rating equals but does not exceed the target's resilience. The target suffers 1d3 shock.
Oh.
If the damage rating exceeds the target's resilience, the target suffers 1 wound for every damage rating point over the resilience.
okay, so I do a fair bit of damage to it then.
So you basically 13 minus 5
8.
leaves us with 8, which is way more than its 3 wounds. So it's you just basically like you simply just put your fucking giant Astartes-sized knife through it. Basically, its spine,
Give it the boot.
the spine area and the neck, and then you're just like trying to like cut its spine, but you're not used to actually fighting human enemies. Not that much. You're just usually used to things being a little bit bigger, so you just straight up just lop its head off.
Nice.
That's
So when
page,
does shock happen? Sorry.
page 226 says when you equal the target's resilience.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
Was my
Just kind of
two
like
not pretty enough
stunning
for you?
somebody almost.
Yes.
There we go. And you can also soak damage as well,
Okay.
which I need to read about.
Heroes and some pieces of wound from the back make a soak roll, reducing the damage suffered by 1 wound per icon and 2 wounds per exalted icon.
Nice, okay.
So
So,
the roll to soak is not a test and does not use any wrath dice, nor does it have a difficulty number.
Okay.
Wait, so you
That's maybe
do it?
spend 3 roll failures on a soak if it's if it were a test.
So if I get hit for
Troops may not soak.
if I get hit, I roll 7 dice. No, that's shock. Where's my soak? I roll 4 dice to try and get rid of a maximum of 4 damage.
Oh.
Wait, how much?
Ooh,
shock can
that's
you take. Where's
uh,
that?
there's a
You have
value
shock
on your
stat.
character sheet. Like my
Oh,
shock
7.
is
Okay,
yeah, mine's 7.
So is that like shock based on your what? Constitution?
Maybe wounds -1.
Let me
Does
find
mine
the.
is-
My
chart
shock and
again.
wounds are the same.
Shock is mentioned on page 226.
What the fuck does Steadfast do?
No idea. We're all just looking this shit up in the book as we go.
Yeah.
For
Wait,
heroes
DM
choosing to
rolls a
soak
6 on a
wounds.
wrath dice? What? Wait, do I have wrath dice?
So cost of so you make a toughness roll. Is that how shock works?
Most find shock. The description in the book here is most people find war terrifying, and even the bravest and toughest can be overwhelmed by the wars of war. Shock represents a character's determination in the face of combat and potential death.
So shock is based on your willpower plus tier.
Oh, there we go.
Ah.
My willpower is
tier.
4. My shock and my tier is 3, so my shock is 7.
So shock
So
is
that-
also it's less of like a threshold thing, and it's actually like more like HP or
It's an
Yeah.
active thing you can turn on, yeah.
It's non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're basically once your shock gets to 0, you are considered exhausted. But doesn't whenever a troop is reduced to 0 shock, the troop is considered dead or destroyed. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't really say.
Troops are the troops are like the little
Different.
shits they usually mob up. Like the thing you just killed.
Okay, so if you got hit for 13 damage, let's say Liddy lets that guy soak. I know they can't, but let's say he did.
Well, that guy could have. He wasn't a mob.
Okay.
Yeah, he could have soaked. Probably should.
Okay, so
Okay,
he has
so-
5 resilience, gets hit by 13 damage, right? What
Yeah.
does he have a shock value or not?
Does he have a shock? He does have a shock.
What's his shock
He'd
value?
have to roll soak.
3.
What's his soak value though?
Yeah, what's his soak
Uh,
value?
It'll be under the combat traits on the left there, in the middle, just below resilience.
Heroes and some NPCs that suffer wounds from attack may make a soak roll. Oh, but that guy was a troop, so I don't think he can make a soak
Oh, so he
roll.
was
But
a
just
troop.
saying if.
Oh, if.
Like,
if,
what- Yeah, like, okay, so he has 5 resilience, he gets hit by 13 damage. What does he need to roll to successfully soak damage?
I think he rolls soak, and every success turns a wound into a shock.
Okay, so is the soak number, is that the number of dice that he can attempt to soak?
I believe so.
Okay, so let's say for argument's example, he had 4 soak. Would he roll 46, and any 4s he had would turn into shock, right?
That's the way I'm interpreting it.
Okay, and as long as it doesn't exceed his shock, he stays conscious, and then the rest of it gets dealt as wounds. Is that how that goes?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a step-by-step thing. So when choosing soak, follow these steps. Step 1, the character suffers 1 shock. 2, the character makes a soak roll. 3, count the total icons. Each icon converts 1 wound into 1 shock. After soaking the damage, any remaining damage is inflicted as wounds.
Okay. That's okay. So that's
So-
basically like a last ditch thing. You don't want to do that every time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
the
I
cost
think
of soak.
it's better to take shock than wounds, I would think.
Yeah, I would think you'd want to do that anytime you took a hit.
It is
Shock, you
Wait.
fall unconscious
temporary
when you
HP.
die.
It is a shield, if you will.
Yeah, the cost of choking. For heroes, the choosing to soak wounds inflict 1
What
shock.
is the soak stat based on?
God damn it! I just left that page.
Maybe
Rank.
toughness.
Yeah.
Plus.
Shock wounds inflicts 1 shock plus 1 additional shock per wound negated immediately after resolving the effect of the toughness roll.
Page
see,
59.
What were you asking, Griff? Which
What is soak based on?
soak is
stat?
willpower plus tier?
Willpower plus.
Yeah,
tier.
that's for shock. Or did you ask soak?
And
Soak.
Oh, soak is
soak.
just your toughness.
Okay.
NPCs may not soak unless the GM chooses to spend a point of ruin. If the GM does so, they may then make a toughness roll and suffer 1 shock plus 1 additional shock per wound negated immediately upon result. Where does the toughness roll come in? I'm so confused.
So let's use our example here,
Your
Hippo.
toughness is how many soak dice you have.
Right. So let's use the example we just had where Hippo takes out his Xeno gut knife and guts this heretic, right? He did 13 damage, which was 8 over his resilience. So he has 8 wounds. He could
attempt to soak some of them.
He can attempt to soak some of them, right? So his soak dice would be his toughness. And he can, for every success on a soak die, he can convert 1 point of that damage into shock. So in this example, let's say he's a real tough motherfucker. Let's say he's got 10 toughness. So he can roll 10 die. He would need to have 8 successes to have 8 shock instead of 8
Well, 9
wounds.
shock. You always
9
take
shock.
one plus
Right.
however many dice.
1 for attempting to soak.
I see.
1 for attempting to soak.
So if you attempt to soak,
Take 1 shock no matter what.
successes, still take 1 shock.
Oh, okay. Now
Take
I
the-
understand.
Take the
Okay,
shot.
so it's 1 wound per icon and 2 per exalted icon.
Right. So even if he had like a 5, like a toughness of 5, he could technically negate all that damage into shocks. However, his shock may go to 0, in which he's just, I'm gonna run away.
So let's say he's attempting to soak, which he can because he's a troop, but so he rolls
Yeah,
his
let's go through
toughness
it.
is wait, his toughness 4 and that was way too many dice. So makes an attempt and he
There we go.
rolls
Twice.
But he gets 3.
exalted icon and an icon, so that's 3. So
Mhm.
he uses that 8 to
To 5.
5. He's still dead, and he also takes
3 shock.
4 shock.
4 shock. Yes,
Because he
Yeah, he
takes
also
1
takes-
shock
yeah,
to try.
that counts as
Which-
2.
which means he would be double dead because he has only 3 wounds and only 3 shots.
I am tired.
So- So
But he
if
could
killed him,
have gotten out of that though, right? If the dice went his way, he could have gotten out of it.
He would have been
not
unconscious
died.
still.
But he wouldn't
But
be dead.
okay. So I also understand why he has a shock number, even though he's a troop. Because if you roll the same as his defense, that means you get 1d3 shock. So if you roll like a 6,
So
even if you missed, basically.
So if I roll under his thing, I just miss. If I roll above his thing, I hit. If I roll exactly his
Equal.
thing, I kind of stun him a bit.
Suppressive fire,
Tire him
basically.
out.
Okay, yeah. And if
Think
you
of it as
roll-
think of it as a combination of morale and exhaustion.
Or
So
it's-
basically, you can use like weight of fire to force shock test on enemies to basically pin them or break them.
Yeah. Okay, so getting equal is basically like a graze, so to speak. You don't really hit, but you still kind of like the bullet just went past their fucking like nose or something. Well, it's a close hit, and they're like, whoa. And that's where the shock comes in, which is a 1d3. So, for instance, with these guys, if you were able to shock them, if you were any rolled a 6, they would still instantly die because they only have a shock of 3. Which, them being troops, would mean that they would die instantly. Okay. Let's continue. Whose turn was
It's
it?
your
again? It
turn.
was mine.
It'll be the
It's
mobs.
Let
Mobs.
me read what this thing tells me to do.
Which brings a question up for me.
What's
Okay,
that?
we went, the Poshwalker went, the mob went. Do the rest of us go after
Only
this?
one person per group or a mob can go.
So
per
if
turn.
we're fighting one big baddie, it would be
No,
Like
I think
me, the baddie, Trash, the baddie, Hippo, the baddie. So he gets
Yes.
like just shit tons of turns.
Yes,
Pretty
that's
much.
why we have to be good and not dead.
It's basically
kinda-
alternating backwards and forwards. There's no initiative reset.
All right.
I really like that.
Yeah, I'm liking the rules so far. I think it'll be quite easy once we've more familiar with them.
yeah, as long as we get through this, like, the fuck does this mean thing.
It's just
Um,
familiarity. D6 systems are usually quite straightforward as far as actual rules go. Once you know what to add, they become super easy. That's why I was asking, like, how is a stat derived? Because once you know that, you can pretty much do this shit on the fly.
Yeah.
All right. You know this this mob that you have currently, like, just halved due to your a bolter or warrior. However, you also notice that there's still quite a lot of people, and what they do is each of the remaining 4 goes and just like lunges at a nearby person and killing them, and you just basically just kind of slathering thing up with some like rotten goop on them, and that's what they do because that ability only makes it happen on the next turn. All right, and it's your guys' turn. What do you do?
I don't know
There's
about
more
you,
dead people. Oh no!
but unless we kill all of them,
I'm totally okay with
Heretics.
this.
we have to
Okay, who
either-
wants to go next? Have you gone yet, random, or not?
No, I haven't. I'll shoot some bolters down into the zombies.
Sounds good to me.
It's like,
should
it's
have
like
that mob before.
have we got so 3 of you have picked the Sister of Battle.
Just randomly picked what's there.
Letty, I mean,
Sure, I'll be a
and
Sister of
Trash
Battle
are
too.
Sisters.
I'll be one too.
No, wait. I'm
I thought you were. Oh no, you're a commissar.
a
Oh, yeah,
commissar.
sorry.
He's a
but I have
commissar.
I have a bolt
Ah.
system.
I'll be a Sister of Battle as well.
It's the chick. Just be what the chick is, whatever she is.
I'll be Sister Benna Horton.
I have a harem.
But
Yeah.
the commissar in the book's also a woman.
No, I think it's one of each.
We all women's nows.
Oh,
One.
Only the Space Marine and the Priest are guys, so you've got a eunuch and a fucking priest. The rest of you are all like...
so I just randomly flipped through the book and picked a page.
So
I was gonna be a
have-
guardsman.
I got 5 successes. How many do I need to shoot a bitch? What's
Attack-
their
who are you attacking? Who are you attacking?
The Poxwalker mob.
All right, so you're attacking the mob. You have the difficulty number for this is 2. That's their defense.
All right, so I'm going to transfer my 6 to our glory.
All right. You can also, because it's a mob, you can also, for every 2 icons over the mob's defense, so if you have 5 or 4, you can also hit another target without having to take any penalties of multi-attack.
So he only rolled 3 successes, so he wouldn't hit another one.
All right, so I'll roll one of these to my damage.
Oh no, yeah, I just mean if you want, you could have used that
Yeah.
6 you rolled, add to it to another
To
one.
hit another one. Yeah.
Yeah, I figure just go ahead and build up the glory pool.
All right, you're just gonna build up the glory pool, which is at 3.
Yes.
I rolled
Yeah.
a 6, Hippo rolled a 6, and
I
Nate rolled a
already
6.
added mine.
I made one
so-
melee.
Oh, okay, that's a lot better.
Yeah. I forgot.
So my damage
that.
is 10
Calculator.
plus 1 extra dice plus another
Right.
extra dice for be rolling the extra success over, right? Is that how it works? Or does it have to be a 6 to roll it?
What do you mean?
When you roll more successes than I rolled
No.
3 successes. Can you roll that extra success over the
No.
damage, or is that only 6?
No.
Only,
You
Okay.
I think.
Oh, and you
succeeded,
forgot to roll your wrath. One of the dice always needs to be at the
It was.
No, he
it was
did.
in
He
there.
did.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you
sorry.
succeeded the difficulty number.
Okay,
Alright.
so my damage is 10 plus 1 extra die.
You can spend a wrath to reroll a failure once on a test, add +1 to defiance check,
Yeah, you
make a narrative
use
declaration, or
glory
immediately
to,
restore 1d3 plus 1 shock.
You use glory to give yourself an extra damage dice.
Okay. So it's
Oh,
10
so you
and
see,
that
you can spend the
one-
wrath to get shock back.
that 1 becomes a 2 because our weapon is brutal, but it's still a failure. So I just do 10 damage to one dude.
Are you fighting at the mob or at the normal at a
Yeah,
horde?
at the mob. At the mob. Poxwalker.
So your extra dice rolled a 1, so that's a whole nothing.
Yeah. But brutal weapons. I mean, it didn't change anything here, but
Yeah,
weapon
it's
is
yeah.
brutal.
It
That
plus 1,
becomes
yeah.
a 2.
But yeah, it don't do nothing here.
So 10 minus their resilience. I think that's still 1.
5. That's enough to do 4 extra wounds. 4 wounds altogether.
4 wounds altogether.
They have 1 wound because it's every point over their resilience that you did is an
Yeah.
extra wound. Because we RoboCop in this bitch.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember how all of
No,
this
no.
works. All right.
Holy, saying it out
They're
loud for me.
mobs, they're troops. Well, nothing but a troop can mob. And when a
Others.
troop is a mob, that means each of them has 1 HP, 1 wound, representing one of the persons in the mob. So you
He hit
get 4
1.
wounds.
Right, to 1. One mob.
Okay. Oh, yes, you're right. You hit 1 mob,
Really
so
well.
that means they're dead.
Yes. They can't roll
Okay,
for shock.
okay, yeah, I see. When they're mob, you don't need to actually even roll damage because they only have 1 wound. Oh no, wait, you do need to
Still
roll
have to
damage.
exceed
to
the
get
resilience.
the
Yes,
extra- Yes,
Because
sorry,
otherwise you
sorry,
just
sorry,
shot
yes, you're
them.
right. So yeah, so one of you basically just take a snapshot at the horde that has just killed some innocent civilians, hardworking civilians, and blam, with your bolt pistol, you just shoot it, and its head gloriously explodes for the Emperor.
And there's 3 left, right?
And there's 3 left, which is my turn, because these guys are pretty cool. They're Poxwalkers, and they just had used their special thing. The 3 turns into 7.
Oh
4
shit!
guys who they just killed rise up.
Rude.
We need to end this.
Very rude.
I'm sorry. We need to end this.
Let me just
That's
what
no.
That's awful.
recommend me to do.
Think less, whatever the hell that was, and more Sarah Connor on steroids in Power
We need to
Rangers.
end this. We need to end this.
We need to end this.
I'm just gonna go salty pea. We need to end this.
Yep, there you go, that's the voids.
There you go.
Did anybody bring any grenades?
Walker kills 1 worker per turn. The action blah blah blah.
I'll be back and grab a drink real quick.
No one shall defile the sisters of battle.
It's kind of. Ooh. Well, actually, no. That I suppose that makes sense. It's just kind of like
Good faggot.
the thing. No. The thing kind of like doesn't explain because it says that like they're supposed to attack any target that has directly injured them, but
That's us.
it can't really be in. Well, I'm not sure you're
Injured.
specifically talking them as a mob or as individual entities.
Mob. I
Mob.
would say mob. So they would attack all of us because we've got at least 3 guys in our group who's injured them. So they would come after us.
The only
And you
action
could-
Poxwalker we will take is to attack the nearest target each turn, or any target has directly injured them. Oh, it does say them. So okay, so basically this mob starts just fucking wailing towards you now with their
So it would take offense at me, Hippo, and Random because we've directly killed them.
Yeah, I was just trying to determine like would they like continue just killing people and raising their numbers, or
Yes.
would they actually just turn against you guys.
It depends on who's closest. If they're close to other people, they'll still go after other people. But otherwise, if they're closer to us, they'll go after us.
All right, I'm back.
That's how I took it. So
Alright,
we have
how
to.
many turns is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. After this, something happens.
We're gonna have to start
Um,
killing these guys. Otherwise, we're gonna get surrounded and killed.
Alright, yeah, they start like just rounding towards you. Okay, so there's 7 people in the mob. Let me just look up the mob attack rules again. Maximum half. Okay. Weapon attack. So wait, is weapon attack based on the attribute and your skill?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, if their
Alright.
skill is 4 and their attribute is 4, then it's 8. That kind of
Okay. So their attribute, their strength is used for weapons.
Yes.
Correct. I'm assuming. Okay. So I need
no,
more
actually, no.
details on
Initiative
this.
is.
Initiative.
Initiative.
Yeah.
But agility is used for ballistic skill.
Yes.
Yes. So strength is used for athletics, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. So that's 3 dice for that, plus their 5 from the weapon skill. Actually, no, I forgot to add the amount. So there's 7 of them. So half.
3.
So that's another 3 dice.
Yes. And you could split the mob up to attack more than one person.
Yeah,
Or you can
yeah.
have them all
I
attack.
can have them attack, but the individual roll, I think, is So wait, is the roll still a single roll even if I had them attack different people?
I think you'd have to assign them to each person
Use
because
their discretion to
you don't
have any
know
member of
who got the
troop
failures, who got the successes.
in a mob split their attacks between multiple targets. This action does not incur any DN penalty. Is not considered multi-attack.
Yeah, but you have to say, I'm going to spend 4 dice on trash,
Oh,
5
each
dice.
group gains the combined attack bonuses Sea of Blood based on the number of troops. Okay, involved in that particular attack. So okay, so they don't get their 3 numbers of attacks per person. So they gain a total group of, let's see, how many of the successes did they get? 1. Let's just collect them first and then count them. Let's say there's 7 of them. Let's just split them between all 3 at the front. We attack them. So that means each of you have at least 2. So it's plus 1 dice. One more dice total for everybody. I think that's the fairest
Okay.
way to do it. And that's just doesn't add anything. And that's a. How many hits is that? How many icons is that in total?
7.
1, 2, 3.
That's 7.
Yes, that is 7.
Alright, so who's getting what?
Yeah. Everybody just gets 1 attack. Trash.
Well, that's not going to get past any of our defenses.
A trash hippo and commissar person gets 1 attack of 7. Actually, no, 2 attacks.
No.
Sorry, because they're
No.
yes, 2 attacks per guy. Because there was 2 guys per you.
So it would be okay. So
But you didn't roll 21 successes. So you're saying we each get 7 wounds?
No, that's just that's the base attack to go through your.
So does that
defenses.
7 have to be split between the 3 of us?
No,
Yeah,
no, that's not how the combined attacks work. It is cumbersome to make an attack roll for every single troop within the mob. Instead, make a single attack roll for the mob as if it were a single entity, using the correct dice pool, weapon skill, ballistic skill, or other ability of a single troop within the mob. The attack roll gains the bonus of 1d for every troop assisting them, which was a maximum of one person assisting.
Up to half of the mob size.
After the up to the
Okay.
half of the mob size.
So we had 2 people each going after us then, right?
Yes. The
So it
GM
would
may use their
be-
discretion to have any number of the troops in the mob split their attacks between multiple targets. This action does not incur any DN penalty and is not considered a multi-attack. The
Right.
GM must specify how many members of the mob are involved in each attack when a single mob splits its attacks in this manner. Each group
Right.
gains the combined attack bonus based on the number of troops involved in the particular attack.
Right. So you would be basically rolling for 2 people attacking each of us. So that would be weapon skill plus whatever attribute plus 1 because there's 2 of them.
Correct. 1d. 1 dice.
1d. Yes. Right. You're 1 die. So
Which I have done, which the result was
7.
7 icons.
right. So we each then, to make it simple, would have to have. They did 7 successes and compare that against our resilience
Oh, no, that's
Right.
defense. Oh,
against the defense. This
Alright,
is
so
the
that's a
hit.
hit
This
for
is
me.
the damage.
That's a hit for me.
That would also be a hit, I guess.
So your defense doesn't reduce the attack.
No, resilience does that. Defense is
Right, so-
like.
Depends on how hard it is to hit you. Your AC.
Yeah,
Okay, so my defense would be 4.
so you get hit.
Hit.
Okay.
All 3 of us got hit.
Yeah, basically, you guys just got just think zombies just going or just mobbing you and biting
Right.
you all over.
Right. So we all got hit.
And they rolled really well. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, they did.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how fucking damage works. So their war gear is improvised weapon, which is 7 plus 1 ED, AP 0, toxic 3.
Okay, so they deal 7 damage, and they roll 1 extra dice. And if
One
that
extra
dice is a 4 or more, then they deal 8 damage instead of 7.
Okay.
Plus it's
they
2
don't.
2 times 2.
They roll the 1, so they don't deal extra damage, so it's a 7
Don't. Okay.
with no armor penetration.
They don't do
Wouldn't that be
anything to me at all. Then let's have a look at what toxic does.
Wouldn't that be plus times 2 because it's basically we got hit by 2 people. So we got
Oh.
hit by 2 weapons?
Yes, you're. Oh yeah, it's twice.
So first attack doesn't do anything to me. So that one's
That
an
one's 8
8.
damage.
So that also doesn't do anything to me.
Okay. Oh yeah, I need to do them. I need to do them per person. Okay.
Right.
So 2 attacks with that. 1 7 and an 8 to Hippo.
Nothing.
And let's determine the attacks for Trash.
Yeah. So my resilience is 10.
Oof. So 8 and an 8, which is not enough.
Not enough to do a wound or to shock me.
And then for a
What does
Commissar
toxic
person.
do?
Toxic.
Mine is 9.
Alright, so none of these guys actually have enough damage to go through your.
So
They were able to hit, but didn't do enough damage to actually
with
penetrate.
the toxic, if anybody did make a wound, then you become poisoned and must make a toughness test, DNX, so whatever number the toxic thing was on that weapon that they attack with, at the end of each round. If they succeed or are treated with a Medicaid test at the DN test -2, the effect ends. If they fail, they suffer X wounds, so 2. Because that thing was Tox 2. Okay.
Okay, they have gone through all of their attacks. A lot of them hit, but they did no damage. So,
So our turn. Griff or Ein?
yes.
Sure, let Ein go.
I'm here, finally.
Yes,
Ein, have you
I-
been
I
listening?
concur.
Convert them.
Been trying to, been fucking wall of fucking.
We could help. Then you'd be part of the wall.
Yeah, been trying to, but there's no room.
Hmm?
Nothing. I have a chain sword that I can use to smash things with, or like spread things with, and then I have this pistol what I have 24 meters with.
So we're being mobbed by zombies.
Yeah, so
I believe they are in
fucking
melee
chain
range.
sword. Arrgh.
Yep.
I whip up my chain sword and fucking cut them up.
Roll your dice.
So that's like 13 dice.
That
How
sounds like
does
far
it-
too many. On your character sheet, in skills, you should see weapon skill.
At the bottom.
Weapon skill is.
The-
Um,
2 numbers.
We're looking at the last column, the total column.
Weapon skill is 8.
So you roll 8 dice.
So 7 regular dice and 1 of the colored dice. Grab the little orange guy. There you go.
That's a 34 and all.
No, that's not how you add.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
So
So
to pass a test, you're looking at 4s, 5s, and 6s. 6s count as 2 passes. So you've rolled 3 6s, that's already 6
Six.
passes, and then 3 more passes. So you've rolled 9 to. That's your to hit roll 9 basically.
999. Okay.
So you have hit them because what is their defense?
Two.
Like 2. Yeah, 2. And then
Okay.
you're hitting with the chainsword, yeah?
Yep.
So at the bottom, you'll see chainsword, then damage. So what's the damage number?
It is actually it's 10 plus 1 plus 2, so it's 13.
does it say 10 plus 1 ED?
Yep.
His chainsword is master crafted, which means he gets +2 at normal dice. Well, +2 dice on melee attacks using this weapon. So I think that's on the to hit roll.
Wow. Okay.
So okay,
He's gonna
so,
It's not damage.
yes, I don't think it's damage. So next time you roll an attack, you roll 11. So you roll 1 more dice. That's your extra
See if-
dice. So if you roll 4, 5, or 6, it adds 1 to the damage. So it doesn't. So
Oh,
you do
sweet.
10 damage. The thing is brutal, which means you add
Added
+1
one
to the
roll
result
to those
of
other
extra
rolls.
damage dice. So
It's
yeah, that's
explained a little differently. On page 275.
when rolling damage dice for a brutal weapon, add +1 to the result of each damage dice. So he rolled a 3, so that becomes a 4, which means it's a pass. So he does 11 damage.
Oh, yep. I misunderstood that. Yep.
So how many of the mobs do you
System
hit
is
to begin with?
awfully complicated.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's different. It's not too bad.
Like
It's actually really easy.
Yeah, so it's how do we roll the damage? Is it just
that
10 or
yeah, it's 10, and then whether or not you pass or fail on the extra dice, which you did. So it's 11.
yay? Nice.
Right.
Let the zombies.
So how many zombies did he hit in total? Just 1? Or
He did 9.
Yeah, he rolled 9 to hit.
alright, he rolled 9 to hit. Let me just
So that's 3 more. Because it's
defense. Okay, yeah, 2.
yeah. He hit 4 altogether.
Yeah, he hit 4 altogether, and his damage was 11. So that's resilience 5. Okay, yeah. That definitely
So 4 are dead.
4 are dead. Yes, 4 are definitely dead. So there are 3
Yay.
remaining.
And it's now their turn.
It is now their turn, and the book is telling me that at this moment, you notice as you're currently fighting and being not really overwhelmed, as obviously very not being overwhelmed, as your priest fellow just fucking hacked 3 of them into
the
mincemeat.
Emperor.
4 of them into mincemeat. 3 of them are remaining. You do notice that the guards have finally arrived and has also taken out one of them in their turn. There are still, however, 2 remaining, and they shall attempt their attack on. It doesn't really matter. Trash. Okay, weapon skill was okay. Initiative plus the weapon skill. So that's 5 plus 3, so it's these. And since there are only 2 really remaining, they're still mob, but they don't really count as any bonuses. So how many attacks is that's 2 icon? That's 4 icons in total. Does that pass through your defense, Trash?
How much?
5 icons.
My defense is 3,
4.
so that's a hit.
3, 4, 5. Or he didn't roll
those.
these.
It's just these 3.
Sorry.
Yeah, those ones roll. It's just these 3 over here.
What was my defense is 3.
Oh, I think you should have a raft dice now, do you?
I should have a raft
I
dice?
think so.
Oh, okay.
Ruin.
Yeah, because if you roll a 6 on it, you get ruin.
You guys all have like complications and stuff
I
as well?
I don't know. I guess so.
No. Oh well. I'll just make one of these. For the next time. Make one of them. Let's make it red. Nice red. Alright, yeah, they
Oh.
how much is this? They rolled 4, and your defense is just 3. So okay, so they hit, so they must try and do damage, which is
I can't help but think that we're doing damage wrong, because if they only ever do 7, they'll never get past our resilience.
These are poxwalkers. They're supposed to be just
Disposable chaff.
Yes. I don't think this fight is supposed to be difficult. I think this is supposed to be piss easy on purpose.
Yeah, look, we knew what we were doing. This fight would be done in like 5 minutes.
Well,
Look
not
how
even
cool your
that.
character is, intro.
Doop. And both of them fail to do extra damage, so it's just 7, which is not enough. Yeah. Your guys' turn?
Yay! Okay. How does
Little
firing
bit-
into melee work? Or is there no like negative to
There
that?
is a penalty to it. I'm literally on that page. When you attack, if the raft dice result is a 1, then your hits a random person.
Otherwise, you're good to go.
Yep. Or you can use the aim ranged action attack to negate the penalty for firing to melee.
I will use the aim action to forfeit my move. Negate the
Coward.
penalty. Which adds +1 to my bonus pool, right? For aiming.
Plus 1
yes.
D on ranged attack. Or
Alrighty.
fire into melee without risk, is what it says.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay,
You
so
could-
I'll just do
you
that.
could-
Then shoot
You
Daka
could
Daka Daka.
salvo.
You have to
You
use
could
a
salvo to add some.
you have to use a raft dice to do
Use a
that.
reload.
Or yeah, reload.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 4 dice, 6, 7 dice, 8, 9, 10 dice. Whoops. There we go. Alright, so Blizzard skill of 10, firing into melee with no penalty because I used the aim action. So
I know how these guys can. No, I know how these guys are able to kill us. We're not doing something
toxic
right.
damage.
Please explain to the class.
Yes. Well, after we're
Played
done. Here.
trash. Explain, Josh.
Okay, I'm looking at the roll to hit, right? So player rolls their dice and counts the number of icons and exalted icons rolled. If the number of icons equals or exceeds the target's defense rating, the attack has hit the target. If the wrath die as a result is a 6, then the target also suffers a critical effect if it takes any other damage. The group also gains 1 point of glory. The player may also choose to use shifted exalted icons to increase the critical severity.
Yeah, but they have to hit us and do wounds to cause crits.
Right.
Which they can't
The-
do.
And
The player may
wrath
choose.
dice.
Well, let me finish. The player may choose to allocate any dice that rolled exalted icons from the attack roll to the damage pool as long as the number of icons remaining in the attack roll equals or exceeds the defender's defense. So, I got hit by 7. The mob rolled a 7. I only had a defense of 3. Letty could have shifted 4 of those die to the damage roll, right? So he does 7 damage plus the bonus plus his extra dice that he moved over. So that's how these guys can end up hurting us. Does that make sense? So
What page are you on?
Okay, I see how it
page
works.
217.
So-
217.
So yeah, so say like you, yeah. So if their thing is, yeah. So if you get any exalted dice like that 6 you rolled that you don't need its icons, you can shift that into a bonus damage dice.
Right.
Okay. So what is the difficulty number to hit them?
2.
2. Okay. So I will shift the 6 damage pool, right?
Yes.
Okay, which leaves me with 1 extra hits. Oh, 1 dice extra to hit, so that no extra guys I hit, right? It's only a single person because you need 2 extra to hit an additional target, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so I hit 1 scrubbling. And then I'm using a bolter,
Which is brutal.
which has brutal, so I use 2 extra damage dice instead of 1. No, wait.
No.
I use rapid fire. Sorry, rapid fire is the 2
Yeah,
extra dice.
yeah. Brutal is your
Rapid
stuff
fire
all
2 extra
counts as
dice.
1 higher. So
Okay.
that's a 6.
fucking
That's a
terrible.
3. That's a 2.
So does this shifted to a 6 count as an exalt, or
I don't
only
think.
natural 6s?
I don't think they count for the damage.
I think
could
it's
be
only
wrong.
natural 6s, right?
I think maybe.
If it was a natural 6, would that be a critical?
Fuck! Getting swarmed by mosquitoes.
No, the shifted to a 6 or enhanced does count as a 6. I read that on another
So
page.
that 1 dice counts as 2 extra damage then.
Okay.
Yes.
So I do 12 damage to 1 guy.
That Hippo, remember I was reading off the I don't know what page that was, but yeah, it was an explanation of brutal.
So,
Okay.
If you chose to, you could spend the glory to increase the severity of the critical hit, which I don't know what that means. Test hit
Well,
your
that's
roll.
only if you get a critical roll. If you roll a 6 on your wrath die.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think. Which you
Oh,
didn't
okay,
do.
okay.
The
So one is the misfortune that happens, you know, and the other one is the good thing that happens.
So that thing has exploded, I guess.
so this is also why we have to be wary of these, because if they start getting numbers on us, they could definitely start to kill us. Because if they roll, like, let's say we get attacked by 10, we only have a defense of at most 5. So that gets them a higher dice pool to use to get more crits potentially to do more damage on their attacks.
We need the critical hit deck to do critical hit.
No, you don't need a deck. There's a table for it,
Oh. Okay.
Right.
which I'm on the page already.
Oh, okay. I was also reading some of the melee attack things. It looks like you add your strength to the melee attack, which I'm not sure if this is considered already in their war gear. I think it might not. So I might
even
need
to
to
the
also
damage?
add my strength to the damage. for
I
these
don't
pox walkers.
think it's on the. At least not for the character sheet. I don't know. Let me look.
So
No,
would we add strength to our
I'm
damage
looking at this
also?
book where it's just like War Gear is improvised weapon.
Oh no, okay. Don't worry, it's already worked out on our character sheets. Because like the Astartes
okay.
combat knife is in the book is 3 plus 1 extra dice, and on my character sheet is 10 plus or 12 plus 1 extra dice. So that's already worked out. That's fine.
So you have 9 strength.
I'm a Space Marine.
Damn.
Okay, so it's most likely already like accounted for in the
On the character sheets, it is.
Oh,
Because
okay.
if the weapon, like in Hippo's example, if the weapon is 3 plus strength rating, and on his character sheet it's 12, then that would make sense. Because he's got a 9 strength.
Okay. So how do I figure out what damage improvised weapon has normally? Just to make sure if this is
Search
counted.
for improvise weapon.
Oh, page 275. Not to distract here, but we were talking about the brutal. The example there was a guy rolled a 2, 3, and a 5 for his extra dice, but because his weapon is brutal, he adds 1 to each of those results. So he went from having 1 successful icon to 3 because they changed to a 3, 4, and 6. So you got 2 for the 6, 1 for the 4.
So an improvised weapon is 7 plus 1 extra dice
base.
base.
Okay,
So
so
what's
they
your sheet
were
say?
so okay, so it isn't added here. So I would have needed to add the strength to that damage. That's why it wasn't hitting. Thrasher is correct that there was something was up.
Yeah, otherwise we could just ignore them. We're just killing them because
Okay, so
we
that's
feel it's
good,
right.
good to know. If it just says War Gear, it's most likely not adding strength to the melee attack. Also, you can use your weapon skill if you're in melee with pistols as well.
Oh yeah, pistols can be used in melee.
Normally you cannot use ranged weapons if you're engaged in melee.
But I think to use a pistol in melee, it's your weapon skill plus your agility, not your initiative. I think it's something weird like that.
Oh, Poxwalkers
Okay.
are literally the only thing in the thing with improvised weapons.
Yes.
So yeah.
Characters that is engaged may use a pistol that is using their weapon skill and survivability skill. Doing so is not considered a melee attack, meaning that attacker may not use all out attack options. The attacker does not add their strength to the damage with the pistol. The attacker may not aim, but may use other range weapon. So I assume, yeah, it's going to still use ballistics as well. It's just the skill is not ballistics, it's weapon.
Okay, that makes more sense because you're not in position; you're being surrounded. So fighting these zombies that are around me is the weapon skill, not the ballistic skill.
Opportunity attacks work exactly like they work in D&D, where you need to take a disengage action, otherwise you take an opportunity attack. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back to the game. What was the last thing that happened?
Griff exploded one of the Poxwalkers.
Griff
Okay,
killed
Griff
one.
exploded one of the Poxwalkers. It's Pox. Actually, yes.
We have 6 left.
One left.
One left.
Did we kill? I thought we had 7 on the.
And they all got
There were
killed.
7. They got killed by the priest, who was just like, "For the Emperor,"
I'm a priest.
and then just fucking slashed all of them to bits.
I like
What's
the
going
chain
on?
sword rural thing.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And then basically the security guards who arrived last turn then just like take out the final one, and we're out of combat, I assume.
I should
Oh,
have
okay.
for stealing my glory.
So thinking about this, right? We can choose to hit more people or do more damage to a single target.
Yes,
Right. That makes sense.
but that's all. The whole hitting other person thing is only for mobs. That if you
Right.
want to hit another person that's not in a mob, you need to do a multi. which is
Understood.
its own thing.
Understood.
Where's my flamer?
I don't know. Why did you leave it?
Okay, so we have crushed the zombies.
Yeah. Just readings. What is the next
So
part?
pretty much we landed on this planet, walked into a door somewhere, and there's
No, you came to
asylum.
this planet to recover one of your group.
Shall we stop here for the week?
Ah,
And
yeah,
then
it's fine.
All of us maybe read through the stuff a little
Yeah.
bit before we do the next thing, including you, Ein.
Yeah, I need to read more.
Alright, well, this was a good start where we
I agree.
did a little bit of combat, tried to learn it as a group, and next time we more intensively read through and actually try and play the game. I think that's fair.
I'd suggest just reading the abridged, unheralded whatever, Blessings Unheralded. That's like the basic.
That's the
how to
34
play.
page one, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I got them both.
And a lot of that is the story. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
you don't even
basically-
have to read the story, just read the rules.
You
you
don't
have
need to
20,
real-
20
just the
pages.
rules.
20 pages of rules.
Yes. That's what I'm currently doing.
I
I
forgot
was
to
just reading the
roll
rules
my
through that
roll my
basic thing.
objectives.
But yeah, you're on this planet, which is Enoch. Enoch, which is probably just said in
Enoch.
some other way, but that's
No, you're exactly right. Exactly right.
Enoch.
Enoch.
Okay. And you're here to try and get one of your adepts who was wounded in an earlier battle, who is called Adept Genevieve Parker. That's who you're here to get. But as you're just like, dum, this is a large hall. And then all of a sudden you notice like fucking pox monsters and one person turned into them. Or
Oh,
turned
man.
in front of you guys, and then more people also got turned and
Before we leave, our current situation is very similar to a martyr I once knew. Yes, so
Ein's
objective
desperate
complete.
to do his objective. That's not how that works. You need to be more in depth, Ein. Not just say, like, that's like me saying, yes, what you just did is in the Codex Astartes. Objective complete. Give me Raph now.
Plus Raph.
Also,
yes,
it's
and-
I would just say yes, Mr. Space Marine. I wouldn't fucking doubt you.
You have to
Isn't it
provide
very
context.
precision?
Far-flung home.
Yes, Raph is, by the way, Princess.
Yeah, so Ein, you
You're not
gained a Raph, and now the session's ended, so you lose that Raph.
Yay! I think
Start with two
doesn't
Raph next section.
Glory reset also?
Glory also, we start at 0 for that every week.
Yes.
Damn it,
We
so you
only-
basically
we
want to
only-
rack up and spend glory.
Well, you only get glory on 6s for the special die.
No,
Or if the GM is feeling.
that's
yeah,
Raph.
you can also
Or is
claim
it- okay.
Glory, you can. That's any 6 you can shift to glory. So you can either shift 6s.
As long as you still have enough dice remaining to
Yeah,
to hit.
so you can either
Right,
shift
right.
it to like hit more things in a mob, shift it to do extra damage, or shift it to the glory pool.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, the Raph dice also if it rolls a 6s.
Yeah.
Straight up consider that.
I want to see us. I want to see more people rolling 1s on that Wrath dice. I want some combat complications up in this bitch. Have you read through those?
Oh, combat complications. Not yet.
Yeah, when you roll a 1 on the Wrath die, a smattering of bad things that can happen to you.
Oh yeah, I haven't read through a lot of the main book. I've only been just read through the fucking basic quick
I
start
think
book.
that's one thing we might have done wrong when the three of us rolled complications. We all declared what it did, but it didn't. It didn't do anything mechanical.
Well, it did.
Right.
Well, it's either you
Oh.
give context to that, or the GM gets the ruin, which he can then use to fuck you.
You have to pay attention and participate.
Yeah, but like for my declaration, I said I got bile thrown on me. I probably should have made a poison check to see if there was an actual negative to what happened.
Oh, okay. I just realized we've also been doing extra damage wrong for the dice.
Yeah.
For example, last pistol has a damage value of 7 plus 1 ED, meaning you roll 1 extra damage dice and add the icons from that dice to the damage value of 7 of your total. So it's either 1 extra damage or 2, depending on
Yeah,
if you
that's how we
roll
did
a
it.
normal icon.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Oh, I was just rolling at it like if you succeeded, you gain 1 damage.
I think the only time that happened was when Griff rolled a 6. I think the rest of our extra damage was lower than that.
Or didn't happen.
Okay, so it was just me. I was misunderstood that.
And if you're going to go through the book, the combat section is page 204 to like 230, and they have actual. It's not laid out the best, but you will eventually, once it gets through all the introduction, it'll go through an entire combat round. I think that's like page 217, 218. So you can see 214. They go through an entire combat round so that you can actually see all the mechanics in action. It's actually, once I started reading that, it made a lot more sense. The examples in that section are actually pretty decent.
Okay.
Like I can imagine Ein rolling a 1 on his trying to smite people with his blade sword, and in the midst of that, some blood squirts on his face and hands, and he drops his chainsword. He rolled a 1.
Well, that wouldn't be a normal complication. That would be a weapon complication.
Combat
which has
complication.
Its own table, I believe.
Well, no. The third combat complication is dropped weapon.
Is it the same as the? Never mind.
If you roll a 1 on the wrath dice, so you could drop your weapon. You can get blinded. It falls down.
It like getting poisoned and shit from rolling a 1 when that thing exploded. I don't think that should happen, because it does say that that it's whenever a player rolls a complication, this acts as a narrative prompt for the player and the GM to work together to add something narrative to the scene. The purpose of a complication is never to punish a player for bad luck. Instead, an opportunity to add unexpected drama to the scene.
Okay.
It'd be cool. That's something cool to happen.
Yeah.
It's the combat complications that actually have more effect.
That have a rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I was speaking of the combat complications.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out this damage for melee weapons now, because I have a power sword, which is a power sword is 5 plus 1 ED. So my strength is 4, so I would assume that'd be 9 plus 1 ED, but on my character sheet it says 11. So where am I getting the other 2 damage from?
What character is yours? Is the...
Do you not have a special feature on the power
Commissar
sword?
Victoria Lynn. It has parry, but that adds to my defense.
11 plus ED, you say?
And the base power sword is 5.
War gear, weapons. Let's have a look. Power sword, 5 plus 1 E. AP minus 3 parry.
You get a special skill thing that gives you +2.
I do?
I'm asking.
Oh, not that I see.
Might be an archetype ability.
Once on a. No, don't worry.
Or
Maybe they
trait.
changed it?
To be a typo, to Letty's point. Could also be a typo.
No, well, maybe the power sword had more damage originally, and because these character sheets are from like the quick start, so maybe it's just between the quick start and the actual making of this. Maybe they just changed it.
We had a Laz sword. What'd you have? Power
Power
sword.
sword.
Strength rating 4.
Yeah, this section's got a lot of good information in it.
Power field. Maybe the keywords do something?
I don't think so. Unless they do.
I'm trying to find power field, but I can't seem to find it. Because it goes from parry and penetrating pistol to rad.
No, that's just.
No power.
Yeah, that's not a trait, it's just a keyword.
Parry is a trait, though.
Most melee weapons have a range of 1 meter, but some special melee weapons have greater range. When attacking with melee weapons, you add your character's strength attribute to the melee weapon's damage rating to determine the attack's basis damage.
A keyword
So it's
has.
just-
No. There's nothing in the book that says anything.
No,
power
yeah.
rules.
It doesn't say anything.
That's
just-
standard
I
like Control F and it's like power field, and it's
Same.
just a keyword on the weapon.
Yeah,
I should be doing
same.
9, really.
So power sword is 5 plus 1 extra dice. And then you add your strength score, which is what?
4. So it should be 9, but for some reason it's 11 on my sheet.
What about your initiative, whatever the other melee that's called?
That
Initiative
would
is
be
only
to
2 hit though.
Well, your total weapon skill would be 8 normally, right?
Yeah.
It's like random magic 2 damage.
It's Commissar shit.
I think it's just. I know, right? It's got to be a typo or something somewhere.
Probably.
Where was the combat rules again in the main book?
Yeah, mine's. It's either a typo or something with the power sword that we're not seeing. Because like my combat knife is 12 plus 1 ED, and my strength is 9, and the knife is 3. So that's 12.
Right.
That works out for me.
Let me see if mine works out as well. So I have a chainsword, which is 9 plus ED. If I'm this, and that would be what? Weapon skill plus?
Yes.
The weapon's damage.
Weapon skill.
No, it's your
Plus
melee.
strength.
Melee is just strength plus weapon damage.
Oh, you're talking damage. Yeah, damage would just be the weapons
So,
plus your.
chainsword is 5.
5 and then plus strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is 3 is 8. So the chainsword doesn't work either.
Okay.
So there's something we're missing. There's got to be something we're missing. What traits does the chainsword have?
Brutal and unknown
Brutal and parry.
parry.
Okay.
Either of which would affect its
Yeah, they-
damage.
Yeah.
Something's
has
up.
something to do with tier.
Or rank.
Me? No, well, no, because mine doesn't have anything like that. Everyone's rank 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Rank 1, tier 2.
Maybe because they're two-handed weapons? I don't know. No, I guess the power sword would be a one-handed weapon.
Hold on.
So 40k Reddit has.
Doesn't look like there's anything. in Ascension that gives you it. Because your characters are ascended, yeah.
Yes.
No, the Commissar starts at tier 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
This be confusing now.
Yeah, the numbers aren't adding.